I am Denny Van, and I help you accelerate your personal and spiritual progress. And today we're going to be focused in on what is the conscious, what is the unconscious, what is this subconscious or superconscious. And there were some questions about what these levels were because there is some confusion about what they are. And so I shared a photo last time from the group that we have a photo in there of an iceberg. And this is a wonderful, I guess, analogy because it's not what it really is. It's just a way of getting the mind to understand that this conscious part of us is really only a tiny, tiny percentage of what we're capable of. So with that said, I'm going to share my screen to show that image again so that we can talk about it and kind of get an idea. So we're in the group, Manifesting Money, Make It Easy, and this group started out as a bonus training. And next thing you know, friends are being invited, people are wanting to know what this is about. And this I'm kind of testing the waters myself because this has been working with me and with clients that I've been working directly with. And so I wanted to share this and get your perspective and also get your senses about how this is working for you. And so the metaphor I like to use is the iceberg. So consciousness, or what we're consciously aware of right now, you're consciously aware that you're in a room, that you're watching a device, that you're in a webinar or training, that there's things going on around you. But this conscious awareness is only a small percentage of what's actually happening as a whole. Then we have the unconscious, and this is under the surface that we're unaware of. So the analogy I like to use is a big, giant, huge, dark mansion. And this is you. This mansion is you. However, what you're consciously aware of, if you were to walk in the mansion and shine a flashlight on things, what you're consciously aware of are what the light shines on because you're putting your focus in, you're aware of. But everything else that the flashlight is not shining on is unconscious until you activate it by shining a light on it, right? So anything that is in the subconscious dormant, if you will, something will trigger a response to now bring that memory active, and it's no longer dormant. And then we have this superconscious or subconscious. This subconscious or superconscious, they're used interchangeably. This is the part of us that is not attached to the emotions. It's aware of everything that is happening, and it not only sees what's happening within us, it sees what's happening in the whole realm of things. So what we're doing is we're creating a space where we can communicate directly with this superconscious or intelligence part of us. And so everything in religion always focuses to the number 3. And so these are the 3 aspects of ourself. There is a conscious part of only what's conscious that has a light shine on it. There's the unconscious part that is asleep or dormant. And then there's the subconscious or the superconscious part that is aware of all of it and can even interchange and exchange communication between these parts as well. And so the work that we're focusing in on, it's from the work of Gary Flint. And if you're familiar with that, I will definitely leave a resource for that. I've been studying EFT and the work of Gary Flint for many, many years. And this was basically the point where EFT worked for a certain point, until there were unconscious programs running in the background that would then come up into my active experience and almost take over the main personality. And if you've experienced any triggers, you know what I'm talking about, where you're triggered by something, and next thing you know, there's behaviors that are running and taking over your body. Does anybody experience it like that? I've experienced it where my main personality was literally kicked out and I was observing it from above my body. And this program just took over a trigger, and my body ended up stuck in a loop. It was stuck in a loop, and it couldn't get out of this loop. So these are some ways that I've experienced triggers. I would love for you to share, if you're comfortable enough, to experience how your body experiences a trigger, where you can almost feel yourself being pushed out of the way and this program taking over and running things. So this is how we look at it, because we go to the superconscious, because the superconscious or the subconscious can see where these programs are, can see what memories they're attached to, because these create a construct. And these constructs are created by memories that are attached to it that create a behavior. And so what we do is we ask the conscious to unravel these behaviors. Very good. So with that all said, yes, there were plenty of things that can make me feel triggered. So the feeling of being triggered, when that comes up, something in your outside behavior or outside experience connected with something inside, and now that behavior starts to literally take over. I might be brave and turn on my camera today. Little bird in here with me. My little bird is in here with me. Oh, I'm so glad you're with us today. Very cool. So last time we talked a little bit more about this superconscious, and we began talking directly to the superconscious and to bring about these things that are happening within our experience, and to talk to it and ask it to make massive changes and to bring up all of the memories that are associated with this. Sometimes what happens is within our personality, there are triggers or traumas that might be put underneath the surface. And to me, I'll tell you what this looks like. If you look at a soccer field, it's completely smooth, or a football field, same thing, right? We have European soccer and American soccer or football. So, but if you look at the field, it's completely smooth. And what happens is when we have traumatic experiences, it almost leaves these holes in the field, where if you're walking on the field, you could fall into these holes, into yourself, or revert your attention somewhere. So we have these holes within our field. And so when we're going on daily life, we can't see these holes. We're going on in daily life, and something in our outer experience triggers one of these holes to now bring up these programs that are running in the background and start taking over our life. So if we have, let's say, for example, a program, money doesn't grow on trees. This is a belief. This is something that we truly believe on, that we have to work very hard and money just doesn't come at us as if it's growing on trees. So this creates a hole in our soccer field. So we're going on in life, and all of a sudden, money's coming easy, or you need to get money and you want to manifest it, but then you have this belief pop up in the field saying, hey, money doesn't grow on trees. So this kind of puts a stop to the movement, the energetic movement. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be asking the subconscious to fill in those holes. The memory is still going to be there, but it's not affecting the playing field. The memory is still going to be there, but it's not affecting the playing field. And so with this metaphor, if you will, I've already informed the subconscious this is what we're doing. So just with this metaphor, I've already trained the subconscious on what to do. So now as we go through and we're talking about it, okay, even though I have this memory that money doesn't grow on trees, and then all of a sudden I'm in a space where I need this money, and now I have this memory come up that money doesn't grow on trees, and it puts me in a space of conflict. It brings up barriers for this money to come to me because I have a barrier or a belief that money doesn't grow on trees. And yet I'm told, from manifesting money that if I step into it and start doing it and ask, then I shall receive. And yet this program in the background is preventing me from receiving. So subconscious, I'm asking you to find that program within the field and to go over and smooth it out and fix it and have it, this intensified memory, now dissolve into the full playing field where it is no longer thick or intensified. It is now meld with the entire playing field, so that now the memories are shared and the response to money doesn't grow on trees is no longer a barrier, but the wisdom and the knowledge behind this is now shared with the entire playing field. And so as we go through and we work on these things and we give commands to the superconscious, to the subconscious, if you will, this intelligence that is naturally you. And this intelligence was part of you, according to psychology and the research done. This has been a part of you since pre-birth. And so there may be pre-birth holes in the playing field. There may be pre-birth traumas that create holes in this playing field. There also may be pre-life or generational memories that are leaving holes in the playing field. And so what we like to do right now, before we even move any further, is connect with this subconscious. And in order to connect with it, relax. Relax. Relax the mind, because remember, the mind is the tip of the iceberg. It's already connected. And relax the unconscious, the part of us that we don't know. So now that we've talked to the superconscious, this subconscious, this intelligent part of us, and we've talked about leveling the playing field from beliefs. So subconscious, go into the playing field and cover up and dissolve and integrate all of those holes. You can even imagine a feather kind of smoothing out those holes. And then whatever's in there is now integrated in the whole playing field. It's almost like dropping an ice cube into ice water, and the ice cube then begins to dissolve and become part of the water. Exactly. Yeah. So as we begin to communicate with this intelligent part of us, this part of us that we're all connected, all of us here in here, we're all connected. So even though one of us, that doesn't apply to me, I don't have an issue with that, but somebody else is working in on the super conscious level, it's happening to all of us. It's happening with all of us. It's creating this ripple effect. So what I'd really love to do now is go inside and sit with wherever you're at right now. Be okay with wherever you're at.
Still in bed.
Still in bed. Be okay, still in bed.
Of course, of course.
Be okay where you're at right now. Allow the belly to relax. Allow the breath to slow and deepen. Deepening meaning not taking deeper, bigger breaths. Deepening mean when you inhale, the breath doesn't stop here. When you inhale, the inhale comes all the way down below your belly button. And then
so like choir
exhale, then. Much quiet, much calm, much more relaxed. Now, in your current reality, think about where you are in your current reality.
What?
And then think about what you want in your desired reality. So think about what you want in your current reality and what's happening in your current, what is in your current reality. And now bring your focus attention onto your desired reality. So there's the current reality and the desired reality, and there's this gap. We want to find out how much resistance is in this gap. So when I say to you the statement, money flows freely to me, on a scale of 1 to 10 with your current reality and your desired reality, that resistance, money flows easily to me. What number are you? 1, no problem. I'm there. Even though it might not be here yet, I'm feeling it right here. I'm standing in faith. I know it's in the space of variations. It's here. 10, oh my God, why don't I have enough money? I never seem to have enough money. Everybody else is manifesting this money, but where the hell's my money? Where are you? Where are you? So you're going inside and putting your focus in on your current reality, what's happening now.
So probably about a 6 or 7 for me at the moment.
6 or 7. So think about that 6 or 7. Feel that resistance, 6 or 7, between your current reality and your desired reality. And that 6 or 7 is the resistance. And that resistance, we might not know what that is, because that resistance is coming from deep in the unconscious. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask the subconscious, because remember, the subconscious can see both what's happening consciously and what's happening subconsciously. Our conscious awareness knows there's a 6 or a 7 when it comes to resistance. So with that, we're going to ask the subconscious, can you now put your focus, awareness, and attention on this resistance that is a 6 or a 7? And now connect all of the memories that are related and entangled to this feeling of resistance of a 6 or 7. And you don't have to even know what that is. You don't have to consciously know what it is, because the subconscious knows. The subconscious can see it in the unconscious and can see it in the consciousness. So the subconscious is going along. Now, subconscious, are there any barriers to treatment? And this is when I bring in a pendulum or I do some muscle testing. So I'm going to ask subconscious, are there any barriers to treatment? So I'm getting a yes. So whatever barriers to treatment, are you, those barriers that are resisting treatment, are you okay with talking to the subconscious on how to integrate you and your wisdom? Instead of being a barrier, integrate your wisdom into this treatment. I'm getting a big yes. So super conscious, integrate this barrier to treatment. Are there any other barriers to treatment?
Ow.
Yes. So subconscious, super conscious, can you look at all of the barriers to treatment? And I'm getting worthiness, barriers to treatment of being worthy of receiving. So subconscious, can you heal the worthy of receiving and anything related to those memories? Yes. So subconscious, please do so. Treat these worthiness and barrier issues when it comes to being worthy of receiving this abundance. Are these barriers to treatment now integrated? Yes. Are there any other barriers to treatment? Yes. Is this barrier to treatment pre-birth? Big yes. So subconscious, heal, treat, and do a massive shift change to the barriers to treatment with pre-birth and integrate all of the wisdom and knowledge. Are the barriers to treatment with pre-birth willing to do the treatment? Yes. Are all barriers to treatment with pre-birth willing to do the treatments? No. Can the barriers that are not willing to do the treatment in pre-birth, can they talk to the subconscious so that you can learn how to make an informed decision and be integrated with the wholeness of the treatments? Yes. Can the subconscious now treat the barriers in the pre-birth? All barriers integrated? Big yes. Subconscious, superconscious, now treat and do a massive shift change. All of the barriers are now positive qualities. All of the knowledge and wisdom is now integrated with the complete personality. And so just sit with this. There's nothing you have to do in your mind. There's nothing you have to do other than bring the mind and heart in a space of unity. So allow yourself to sit in coherence as this intelligent part of you is doing the work. And remember, it's the metaphor. Your whole personality, your wholeness is the playing field, a soccer field, a football field. And all of these barriers are these holes. And the superconscious is going through and bringing these holes up into the focus of the now, into the active programming, and then filling those holes and smoothing them out. And all of the knowledge and wisdom is now being shared with the entire playing field. Beautiful. Just checking in. So sometimes little releases might happen. You may get like a tingling sensation in the body. You may get like a weeping sensation. So sometimes if the body becomes filled with emotions, let me know I'm starting to get filled with emotions, then we can ask the subconscious to alter the treatment so that only a little bit of maybe past trauma is then integrated, released, and healed, one little part at a time, so that it's slowly released into the whole playing field instead of dumped and causing an emotional release and filling our current reality with this past trauma. So we want to release it slowly so that it's integrated. It's kind of like pouring just a big giant bucket of dye into the water, and then you have the middle being that color, and then it's slowly integrating out, or you just drop it a drop at a time throughout the hub. So we're going to slowly integrate this healing. Very good. The unconscious like that. Very good. Definitely like that analogy. And you know, the subconscious speaks in metaphors. This is why I use the playing field. The playing field is your conscious, unconscious, subconscious all working together. But when there's holes in the playing field, it can't work together. It will bring up barriers. You'll be walking along and all of a sudden your foot goes in, and whatever's in there starts hurting you, starts becoming reality, starts in your experience. So we're asking the subconscious, the superconscious to do this work. Once we tell it how, it's doing it. It's automatically doing it. Very good. So now I'm going to ask you, you were about a 6 or 7 before. I'm going to ask you, thinking about your current reality and then thinking about your desired reality, that gap. Where are you now on a scale of 1 to 10? Check in, listen. Your mind might be thinking, well, nothing's happened. But go inside. Where are you now on a scale of 1 to 10? When you hear that statement, money flows easily to me.
It feels like an 8, but we'll see.
Where were you before, Nicholas, when we started this?
Well, my biggest problem with jobs is trying to find a job that works with my disability. And my being an empath, I don't deal with a lot of crap unless it's necessary. So holding a job is hard.
So holding a job,
Yeah,
getting a job. You've gotten jobs, but you haven't been able to hold them.
right. I mean, a lot of
Okay.
times it's really fast paced for me, or it's too stressful, or it's got enough stress at home. I don't need a job that's stressful too.
And then, okay, good. So subconscious, I'd like first of all, Nicholas, come into a space where you're focused on the feeling of being able to hold a job, being able to get a job that matches your disability, that matches your abilities, that matches your abilities. So you said on a scale of 1 to 10, you were about an 8.
It feels like it. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I felt across when you said that. It had to manifest just a little bit, but then I felt 8. So
So even though you're at an 8 on this, being able to get a job, hold a job, one that's a match to your disability, you're at an 8. So I'd like to talk to the subconscious and to go into the playing field and find all of the things that are related to the memory of getting a job, holding a job, it being too fast-paced for my abilities. So find all of the memories related to this experience, that this is in the now experience. The belief that you have a disability, allow this to bring up everything related to the belief of having a disability. And this
Okay.
disability just means different ability. So there's
Right.
jobs that are not that are dismatched to you, that highlights your disability. So now what we want to do is talk to the subconscious to draw to us jobs that are a match to my abilities.
Okay.
Allow the conscious, the superconscious, the subconscious to find all of these memories, pre-birth, from childhood to the current reality, even future realities, and find all of the memories related to this holding a job, being too fast-paced, not a match to my disabilities. And subconscious begin to do a complete, massive rewrite of this programming and to highlight the abilities and begin to start looking for that manifestation of the exchange of money, you call it a job or whatever that is a perfect match to my abilities. Now, there might be something in the mind thinking, but I have these disabilities. I'm on disabilities. On disability. I get a check every month reminding me that I'm on disability. So superconscious, I'd like for you to go into the mind, same thing in the playing field, and find all of those holes in the playing field when it comes to these limiting beliefs. And smooth those over, integrate those, and focus in on the wisdom that these beliefs have to share with the entire playing field.
Okay.
And so you don't have to do anything, Nicholas. I'm just going to check in with the superconscious.
No, I'm feeling what you're saying. It's not just words, it's emotions.
Yeah. Emotions might be moving around, stuff might be happening. You may feel things in the spine. Sometimes. Say again?
I had to grab my charger, sorry.
No worries. And then so things might be coming up in the mind, distractions might be coming up in the mind so as to not do the work. But even though the mind might be being distracted right now, the superconscious is still doing the work. It's still in the playing field, looking for all of those programs, gathering them together, doing a massive rewrite, because all of those individual programs that are running in the background, they all have a gift. But right now, because they're individually running in the background, there are some programs that are mismatched and not serving you. So the superconscious is going to go in and rewrite all of these programs so that they can be integrated to serve the entire playing field.
Yeah, a lot of times I find work and I'm kind of hesitant. And then as I get to meet some of the people like day 1 and day 2, it seems fine. But after day 1 and day 2, then people become like toxic and aggressive and anger. And it's like, why do I keep finding this loop? I've been doing security for like 3.5 years, but I'm trying to find, something more permanent that's security work in the daytime. And it's been challenging.
So superconscious, I'd like you to go into the playing field, and every single time it seems that something is triggered where I'll get a job and then people will be like, oh, it's so nice to meet you, blah, 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 blah. And then next thing you know, people are bringing out their toxicity and anger, showing me my toxicity and anger. So superconscious, I want you to go deep, deep into these programming with toxicity and anger within and gather all of the memories, pre-birth, this lifetime, past lifetimes, and do a massive rewrite and a massive integration and reprogramming, and to bring out the gifts of these toxic people showing me my toxicity and bring out the gift of these people getting angry, showing me my anger, and then smooth that out. Smooth it out even with a feather. Every time I recognize a toxic person, I recognize the toxicity within me. And right away, my subconscious, superconscious goes to work in smoothing out those holes and integrating that toxicity into the entire playing field, benefiting from its wisdom and its complete programming within the whole personality. Just sit with this. Sit with us, because people are going to show your mirrors. People in your five sensory world, they are your mirrors. So if you see something in them, follow it right here. Heal this here. Heal the toxicity in them, in you. Even though I'm seeing this toxicity in them and I know it's not in me, I'm going to ask the superconscious to heal this toxicity between us.
Okay.
And rewrite these programmings to bring out the wisdom, to bring out the cohesiveness in the playing field. Just sit with this. Finding my pendulum again. Just sit with this.
Sorry for the interruptions.
Oh, no, darling. So superconscious, I want to work on this idea that me being here is an interruption. Smooth that out, because me being here is not an interruption, but a big interruption. Thank you for the interruption. And smooth that out. Allow that wisdom to be integrated in the whole playing field on all levels. So just sit with it. Nothing you have to do other than relax your breathing, relax the back of your neck, and even visualize this beautiful green playing field that is smooth and highly functional. Very good. So you talked about it, holding a job, it being fast-paced, being that resistance between money freely coming to me. You mentioned it being an 8. Your situation might not have changed in this moment. However,
Right.
check in. Where are you now with this resistance on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm not feeling a change.
It's still an 8.
Yeah.
So superconscious, are there any barriers to the treatment? Yes. Superconscious, find all of the barriers to this treatment and expose them slowly according to the treatment plan. Any barriers who are not willing to allow the treatment plan? No. All barriers who are not willing to allow the treatment plan. Are you here? Yes. So are you not willing to allow this treatment into the experience? Yes. Are you willing to have the treatment? Yes. Are you willing to talk to the superconscious so you can make an informed decision? Yes. Are there any other barriers? Yes. And I'm getting beliefs. The mind doesn't believe it. So even though the mind doesn't believe it,
Yeah, I'm
it's
feeling that
okay.
too. Yeah, I'm
It's
not sure
okay.
where.
It's okay that the mind doesn't believe it. So superconscious, gather all the memories of, I got to see it before I believe it. Gather all of those memories together. And are those memories ready and willing to be integrated? Yes. Are there any memories that are not willing to be integrated? No. Integrate all of the memories of, I'll believe it when I see it. Yes. Very good. So even though there's this belief that, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it, the subconscious knows that it's right here.
Okay.
It knows it's right here. But the mind is like, hey, I'm not seeing it with my five senses, so therefore I'm not going to believe it.
Six senses.
Yeah. Well, the sixth sense knows. That's your subconscious. Sixth
Okay.
sense is definitely connected to the subconscious, the superconscious. This
Okay.
is a bigger part of you. This is the unseen, bigger part of you. And of course, the mind is like, well, I ain't seeing it, so therefore it's not. I only see my current reality, and that's truth.
Yeah.
But in the superconscious and the subconscious, there's a larger truth that we might not be able to see yet.
Okay.
So allow the beliefs, they're okay, but allow the wisdom of these beliefs to be integrated through all of the playing fields. So subconscious, integrate these beliefs into the playing field so that all of us can share its wisdom and its knowledge. Very nice. Nice shift there. So yes, my five senses don't believe it because it's not here in the
I
material
need to hang out
world.
with you more.
Say that again.
I need to hang out with you more. 9-hour drive.
I know you tried coming to visit,
Yeah,
but I think you ended up someplace else.
Schaumburg, Illinois. Yeah.
Very good. So the mind is going to be there. It's okay. But this is when you know the mind and heart are not in unity. So super conscious, allow the mind and heart to create a space of unity. Create a space of unity. The mind and heart are in unity. It's creating a vibration of coherence. So even though there's beliefs there that are no longer serving me, the superconscious is going to work integrating those into the playing field, diffusing barriers, letting those go, rewriting, massively rewriting those programs that are no longer serving you, and integrating the knowledge and wisdom and sharing it with all of the playing field. So just allow yourself to sit with this. And as you know, manifesting money has nothing to do with money. It has to do with the resistance between your current reality and your desired reality. We're
I've
working on.
manifested jobs and stuff. That's how I became a security officer. But trying to find, the better ones now and get past the hump on that. That's been a challenge.
So even though the mind thinks that there's better jobs out there, even though the mind thinks that there's a hump to get over, superconscious, go to work with these beliefs that there is something there that I have to overcome, and allow the wisdom and knowledge of this belief to be integrated into the entire playing field. Very good. Very good. So in the job, do you have a job right now, darling?
Yeah, I work part-time with the district and the Sioux Merchant, but it's very part-time.
Yeah, so rent yourself out. You're only there for a purpose. You're not there personally. You're not there for Nick. You're there, you're renting yourself out, which means you have no thoughts of, this is stupid, nobody likes me, everybody's toxic. You're there to do a job. You're renting yourself out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that means as thoughts come up, this is stupid, I should get a better job, no, I don't like this job, put those thoughts into the playing field to be integrated into the whole field. And ask the wisdom and knowledge to be integrated from those thoughts, instead of those thoughts becoming a barrier for your desired reality. Because your current reality is, you're just renting yourself out. There's no Nick here. There's only a security guard doing a job. Does that make sense? As soon as Nick shows up, I shouldn't be here. There's toxic people here. I don't like this. I need a better job. All of those things, right? Those programs running. Give them to the subconscious, the superconscious, and ask the subconscious to rewrite these programs. To do a massive shift on these programs so that you can integrate the best part of this. The best part of this. Very good. I think your mind likes this.
I think I like this too. Yeah.
I do think you like the football field better than the soccer field too.
I played soccer as a kid, but I played a lot of football too.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter what that field is. And this is the super conscious can see everything. But a lot of times when we're in the here and now, our current reality, we only see the holes. There's a hole.
Sometimes,
There's a
occasionally,
hole.
just my mom. Don't remember ever living in UK in this lifetime, but sometimes my mom will pop up, and I just wonder what it'd be like to be there.
Mm,
So I don't know. Maybe it is soccer that I like more, but
yes.
I
So
don't know.
whatever that playing field is, and you can alternate them, soccer, football, it doesn't matter. It's that playing field that has the holes in your personality that creates these hidden personalities. And then the whole personality, when something's triggered, boom, here comes this hidden personality taking over. The main personality is kicked out. You are now in role of that trigger. So now we're asking the superconscious to fill those in and integrate it into the whole playing field, because each of those holes has wisdom. And we want the wisdom of it, not the trigger or creating a barrier or separation between our current reality and desired reality.
Okay.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, you were an 8. You know, you have this disability, and every time you go to get a job, it seems like it's a mismatch to your abilities, where
Yeah.
instead it emphasizes your disabilities. So now you're going to talk to the superconscious. We don't want to focus in on a mismatch to my abilities. We want to focus in on a match to what I'm very capable of. I'm very capable of security, but I have to go at my pace. I have to go at a pace where people respect me, and I have to go at a pace where I respect where I'm at. So superconscious, go through and find all of that programming, do a massive rewrite and incorporate all of the positivity and wisdom of these into the whole playing field. When I feel shifts in this reality, I feel
It's
tingles up my
crazy.
spine. I feel tingles up my spine. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, huh?
I feel like I'm
Um,
lifting or starting to lift out of my actual body. Like it's
like
just,
an expansion.
yeah,
And
yeah.
sometimes that expansion can feel scary. It's almost like stepping into something unknown, and it's
I'm
kind
already
of
in lifting out of height,
uncomfortable.
but yeah, let's just lift out of my body.
Yeah, but there might be traumas and barriers still trying to pull you back into your comfort zone.
Yeah, I
So
kind of feel
become
that.
aware of that.
I need them.
So, darling, on a scale of 1 to 10 now, compared to your current reality and your desired reality, you were at an 8. Where would you say you're at right now? Is it the same? Has it shifted? Just focus in on
Like that 8 might be a stronger 8, maybe 8.5.
a stronger 8.
Yeah.
So, super conscious, are there barriers that are fighting the treatment? Yes, these barriers that are fighting the treatment, are you willing to work with the superconscious as a team member and make conscious decisions as a team member? Big yes. So superconscious, integrate these barriers now. Do a massive rewrite of the programming and allow these barriers to integrate their positivity and wisdom into the whole playing field. Very good. Now, superconscious, continue doing the work of rewriting these programmings. Massive rewrite, massive change shift, massive complete rewrite of all the programmings, and allow these positive wisdom nuggets to be integrated. Whereas before they were barriers, now they are wisdom nuggets integrated into the entire playing field. And if there's part of the playing field that doesn't want to integrate these, is there anyone in the playing field that does not want to work as a team member to these barriers? Can you talk with these barriers to allow in the wisdom and knowledge to be integrated? Big yes. Now barriers work with the consciousness, subconscious, superconscious, unconscious. to integrate these barriers and to work with these barriers are integrated. Your barriers are going to come to your conscious awareness, and it might be a good idea, I don't know if you do this already, but to journal them, to write them out.
No, I don't write it. I used to draw a lot.
Draw them out. Definitely draw them out. You want to draw, what do these barriers look like to your
I have
conscious
issues with
mind?
spelling, so I don't really like writing.
Perfect. Drawing them out is perfect. And so maybe next time, Nicholas, if getting it stronger, it's like we've been working on it and now it's stronger. There's some barriers that are very resistive. So now you can draw them out. And now that you're aware of how to process these barriers, I'd like to ask the superconscious, can we now integrate these barriers? Yes, but it wants to be drawn out. And these barriers sometimes might look like somebody or something or a combination of those things.
Okay.
So definitely draw them out.
I think I live with one of my barriers, actually.
Yeah. So superconscious, work on the barriers that we seem to think we have to live with, that we have to use as protection. Are these barriers serving as a protection? Yes. Does the superconscious and consciousness need this protection? No. Is there a part of this conscious or unconscious that feels it needs this protection? Yes. Is this protection willing to talk with the superconscious and the team to integrate and find the positivity and wisdom of this barrier to be integrated in the complete playing field? I'm getting a huge yes.
So she's willing to shift, but how do I go about that?
It's willing to shift, but it feels like it needs it as protection.
I think it's my son's mom that's the problem.
Say it again.
So I think it's my son's mom that's the huge problem. She's really negative about a lot of things, and I've been trying to help her to become more positive, but then she keeps hanging out with people that are negative. She likes watching dramas that are negative, and she's like, why do you always run upstairs? Because I don't want to be around the negative.
So you do feel like you have to protect yourself from the negative. So superconscious, work on the idea of what is positive and what is negative, and allow all of the beliefs and the memories related to this, do a complete rewrite to only focus in on integrating the positive and wisdom of this into the complete playing field. Even though I might be looking at it as if it's separate from me, do a complete rewrite of these as if, even though I think they're separate from me, they are part of me and the wisdom it is showing me.
Okay.
So just sit with this, allow the superconscious, the subconscious to do the work, rewriting these programs, massive shift change. Every single time I see this person doing something that I know is negative and I don't want it for myself, I bless that person and those blessings come back to me tenfold.
No, should I bless her verbally or just mentally?
From heart and mind in unity.
Okay.
Bring the heart and mind in unity and just bless her. And if she wants you to sit and watch some negative drama, you sit and watch whatever that is and just be there for her.
Okay.
And ask, how is this helping you, darling? How is this helping me,
Wonder.
Very good. So as the superconscious is working now, just relax into it. The mind is going to come. The mind is going to say, but what about this? But what about this? So I'm going to ask the superconscious, as the mind brings more memories into the playing field and activate them, the superconscious work on integrating them, diffusing them, and spreading the knowledge and wisdom of this into the whole entire playing field. So yes, sometimes there are releases.
It's my boy.
Strange things happening in the body, strange sounds, strange shifts, just let whatever happens happen. So checking in with the question, money easily flows to me and through me with your current reality, focusing on your current reality. I get a complete stop focusing on the current reality. And now focusing on your desired reality, what it is you really, really, really want. And then the difference. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you now? Your current reality, your desired reality. Money flows easily to me. Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 10, complete resistance, complete opposite, polarized. 1 or 0, no problem, I'm there. Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
Six. I feel like there's barriers.
So superconscious, is there polarization going on here? Yes. Okay, so what I'd love for you to do, so polarized, do you know what that means?
Meditate more.
No, you don't have to fix anything.
Okay. Well,
But there is a technique that you can do to help reverse that polarization. So what I'd love for you to do is your dominant hand, I call this the Jesus point, you know, the Jesus point. This point, put right on your sternum. Let me see if I can show where I'm at.
that?
Your sternum. So your thumb is pointing down. Yep, perfect. And the back of your hand is touching your sternum.
It doesn't bend like yours.
Yes. So if one hand doesn't do it, try the other hand. See if one hand does it. What's important, what we're doing is here, we're going to shake up the polarization. Polarization means you want something, but it's like pushed away from you. It's the opposite. Now with your other hand, I'm going to have you tap 5 times. And just sit with that. Just relax. You can relax. After you've tapped, relax. Relax your arms. You can take your palm off your chest and just completely relax. So super conscious, go through and do a massive rewrite. And integrate all within the playing field. Smooth out the playing field. Find all the holes. And it seems like instead of holes going down like golf holes in your playing field, there's almost like these holes sticking up. So what I'd like the super conscious to do in the playing field, if there's any holes sticking up, take a feather and smooth out those holes, those upside down, reversed, polarized holes. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
actually it doesn't have to make sense. So
Well,
super conscious, go through and
I'm very visual.
smooth those out. Smooth out those polarized. Very good. And let's just sit with that. The super conscious is going to be going to work. It's probably going to be working on this for quite some time. Or, you know what, the super conscious doesn't know any time. Doesn't know any time.
Yeah, I've noticed.
It's working. Yeah, no time. Past, present, and future. And just sit with this. Relax. Super conscious, rewrite all the programming related to the polarized thoughts, ideas, beliefs, experiences, behaviors. And integrate the positivity and wisdom that these barriers have to share with the entire playing field, with the entire healing team. Wow. Okay, so current reality, desired reality. What number are you? Where are you? So Nicholas,
About 3.
about a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You helped me
So,
put down some walls. Thank you.
yeah, I mean, can you see how this work is fascinating?
Yeah, it is. It is. I keep
I'm just
feeling this
fascinated by
too.
this
It's
work.
like I just gotta listen, close my eyes, and focus. Like
And
I
let the
don't know. I
superconscious
know
do
your
the work.
subconscious is supposed to do it, but I feel like my forebrain also is working, not just my subconscious.
Exactly. Yes.
Well,
Because there's
I've also had psychic attacks and stuff in the past, and see things before they happen, premonitions and stuff. So I think my mind works more so as a whole than it does separately. But
absolutely. So if you've had those premonitions and stuff like that, you're connected to the superconscious. So usually there's some kind of leakage between the conscious awareness and the superconscious. If you're not prepared for it, and especially if you have fear and barriers, it's going to make it think it's happening to you instead of showing you and for you. So hopefully that made sense. But I
yeah, it
want to
does.
ask Rowan. I know Rowan, you've had some manifestation, abundance beliefs. So I'd like to ask you, going through this exercise, where are you now when it comes to your current reality and your desired reality and that difference? What is the resistance there for you?
I would say that right now it's maybe like about a 5, maybe a bit higher, like somewhere between the 5 or a 6. But I also feel like I'm also dealing with some other triggers right now that might be causing some interference and not letting me focus on this as much as I feel I should be. And even though it feels like it's unrelated, it probably is related in some way, because that's how the universe works, right?
So are you willing to do some work then?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. So do you prefer subconscious or superconscious? Because I know it was you who asked the question about conscious, unconscious, subconscious, superconscious, all of this stuff. Which one?
I was trying to understand the superconscious better, and I think, as I said before, I'd always thought of the subconscious as being the same thing as the unconscious, so maybe just continuing to call it the superconscious will make it less confusing.
Okay, we can definitely do that. So superconscious, are there any barriers to treatment? Yes. This barrier to treatment, is it pre-birth? Yes. Does this pre-birth barrier to treatment want to be integrated with the entire playing field? I'm getting a no. Can this pre-birth barrier talk to the superconscious so you can make an informed decision on the treatments? Got a yes right away. So the superconscious is now informing this pre-birth barrier, and this pre-birth barrier could be memories from past lives. This is before birth. That is in the superconscious. Could be creating a barrier, maybe not. So is this pre-birth barrier open to treatment? Yes. Superconscious, please treat. Integrate the knowledge and wisdom. Very good. So the superconscious is treating this barrier. Are there any other triggers? Are there any other barriers? It likes barriers instead of triggers. Would these barriers be willing to have some treatment to release and integrate the barriers? Are all the barriers in agreement? Are there any barriers not in agreement? these barriers not in agreement to treatment? Are you willing to talk to the superconscious about how this is integrated and how the wisdom and knowledge of you will now be part of the treatment team? Wow, big yes, big yes, big yes. Superconscious, now go to work and reprogramming, rewriting, do a massive rewrite of these programs to release the barriers and integrate the wisdom and knowledge to the complete treatment team and integrate into the one personality.
I'm getting like some tingling pressure on the sides of my head now.
It does feel like in the diaphragm too. I'm
Mm.
getting some tightness in the diaphragm.
Well, that's always there.
So good. Be conscious of that. If you can relax the diaphragm. Do you know how to do that? Buddha belly. Let your belly come out.
Yeah, I mean, I do try to focus on letting like the lower belly come out, but there's still that like tightness higher up even when I do that, that it's just, you know, tight muscles or something.
Okay, so I'm going to do a neurological stretch. So what I'm doing is there's just underneath the sternum, there's that nerve that goes straight down the body. I'm just going to do a neurological stretch there. Nice. So even though I have a belief that these things should be unrelated, is this a barrier? Yes. Is this barrier willing to be treated? Yes. Superconscious, treat this barrier of it should be unrelated and allow the wisdom and knowledge to be integrated into the entire playing field. And now this barrier is part of the healing team, the treatment team. Are there any other barriers? I'm getting like a yes and then a no. Okay, no. Are there any other barriers who don't want treatment?
I'm actually filling your answers before they're coming.
Yes.
I'm filling the answers before you're giving
So
them.
this is your intuition, Nick. This
Right,
is your intuition. Listen, just allow yourself to listen. This is perfect. So are there any other barriers? I got a yes. Feet flat on the floor, please. Superconscious, integrate, heal, rewrite, do a massive reprogramming to release the barrier, but allow its wisdom and knowledge to be shared with the entire playing field. Superconscious, continuing doing the massive rewrite. So I'm getting massive tingling in my hands. So sit with this now, darling, and bring your focus, awareness, and attention back to that gap that was an 8, or did you say 9? You had a high number.
Actually, in the beginning of this session, I said it was, I think, a 6 or 7.
And bringing your focus, awareness, and attention now to that 6 or 7, where is it telling you that it's at now?
So I guess it's, I guess closer to a 4 now.
Beautiful. And let's do that depolarization exercise. Tap 5 times. And then sit with it. Super conscious. Continue working on those barriers that I'm dealing with these triggers and they should be unrelated. Even though I feel them, they're still there. These blocks, these barriers. Super conscious. Continue finding these all of the memories and behaviors related to these and continue to rewrite and reprogram these, bringing out the positive wisdom, productivity movement of this barrier so that it's integrated and it completely stopped. Is there another barrier that just woke up? Yes. The barrier that just woke up. Are you willing to work with the healing team, the treatment team? Yes. Are there any barriers to working with the treatment team? Yes. Would you like to talk with the treatment team and the subconscious so that they can tell you how all of the wisdom and knowledge will be integrated in with the treatment team? Got a big yes. So do that now, super conscious. Continue to work on integrating. Very good. Continue to do a massive rewrite and integrate all of the knowledge, positivity, and wisdom into the playing field. Into the one personality. And is there a barrier that just woke up? Yes. This barrier that just woke up, are you willing to talk with the treatment team to be integrated? Yes. Do so. Super conscious, integrate this barrier. Integration and all of the knowledge and wisdom is now being shared with the treatment team and the superconscious to heal, to integrate, to level out the playing field. So sometimes I get like my eyes will start watering for no reason, that kind of stuff. So my eyes are starting to water a little bit. So let's just check in. How relaxed is your body right now?
Fairly relaxed.
Very good. And now bringing your focus, intention, awareness on before it was a 4, this gap, this resistance between your current reality and your desired reality. Where are you now?
So I guess it's gone down a bit to a 3.
Excellent. So super conscious, continue working on integrating, finding all of those memories related to these behaviors, finding all of those related, and then massively rewriting the programs to include all the positivity, all the wisdom, all the knowledge, and integrate it into the playing field and into the healing team. And allow the healing team to continue to work on these and integrate them. And all of those holes, whether they're inverted or extroverted, taking a feather and smoothing out and filling those holes so that it's integrated. All of the knowledge and wisdom is shared with the healing team and with the main personality. My dog is going crazy out there. I don't know what's going on. Very good. So going from a 6 to a 7 to a 3 is pretty profound. So checking in as you're relaxed and thinking about now putting your focus, awareness, and attention on your current reality. And then putting your focus, awareness, attention on your desired reality. There's going to be a gap. But where is the resistance? Where are you now with the resistance? Because the desired reality is still in the metaphysical realm, and it hasn't manifested in the physical realm, but it's there. But that resistance is what keeps it from manifesting in the physical reality. Where are you now?
I guess it's still about a 3.
Excellent. And that's okay. And that's okay, because the mind might be thinking, but look where I'm at now. I'm in a position I don't want to be. So what you can start doing is find 3 to 5 things in your current reality that you're grateful for. And allow
Oh,
that
yeah.
attitude of gratitude to expand within you, because your current reality is going to show you everything that you don't want.
Oh, yeah, I do gratitude exercises every day,
Perfect.
actually, in the morning before I meditate.
Perfect. Keep doing those exercises. Perfect. Perfect. But the mind in these old programmings, these barriers, might still try and come in. And this is when you start to recognize, wow, there's some resistance coming. Your subconscious, your unconscious, and conscious will start to feel that tightness, that resistance. Wow, there's some resistance. I don't know what it is. Even though there's some resistance coming, I choose to maintain a calm diaphragm so that my body can breathe relaxed. So I want to check in with you guys from when we first started today and last week even, and learning how we're consciously aware of things. Whatever we're putting our focus, attention, awareness on is what's active, is active in our experience.
I wasn't here last week.
Did you watch last week's video?
No, I didn't get to.
Okay, be sure to watch last week's video, because it might even help make some of today make even more sense.
Is there a way you could
Right.
tag me so I could see it easier, or where to look? I'm not sure.
I could tag you in it. It's in the group. Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. So where you are now and where you were, that gap, allow the superconscious to continue working on this deprogramming process. And it's just a process that is going to be going on for a little while. You may have thoughts come, and then all of a sudden you'll be like, oh my, it's not as strong, or it's not as rooted as it was at one time. So you'll start to notice these subtle changes. And then start focusing in on your desired reality as if it's already happened. And we're going to get into that tomorrow in our Heartfelt Awakening group on creating slides.
The law of attraction. Yeah.
And activating the plate. It's reality transurfing. It's a little bit beyond the law of attraction.
Is it?
But go ahead.
No,
I'm
I was just
sorry.
asking. I was just asking if it was. It's new to me, so.
The law of attraction is one part of reality transurfing.
Okay, one part. Okay.
Law of attraction is one part of the entire model. And part of the model we're going to be talking about tomorrow in Heartfelt Awakening is creating slides. And a slide is a vision of where you want to be when it's all done. What does it look like when you have it already? So your current reality is not what you want, right? Yet we keep seeing it. We keep focusing in on it. But your desired reality, if you can, put it on as if it's already happened. Put on the character as if it's already happened. And act as if it's already happened. This is a slide. And then we're going to activate the plate. And this is a part of you. It's between the shoulder blades. We're going to activate this part of you so that when you do create a slide, you tell the plate what to do and it projects it out. This helps you manifest clearly, focused, and it will also bring out all of the barriers as well. So definitely we're going to shine a light on some more of the barriers.
That's fun.
Yeah, fun.
And
Yeah. Do you want to shine a light on those barriers?
Yeah, and I find it wild that this is quantum physics, because I feel like if you were to go and take a lesson, courses on quantum physics in college, they would be talking about something completely different. So this part of quantum physics is like where, I guess, science meets spirituality.
Yes, because we can look at quantum physics like a model. Okay, this happens when that happens, and then that happens here, here, here. But what we're doing is we're taking that model and putting it on. And now we're going, okay, wow, this physics is happening. I'm creating excess potential. How to release that excess potential within your physics, if you will. Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty cool stuff. How to apply quantum physics to yourself, because we intellectually get it. We intellectually get it. But when we put it on and part of us is saying one thing and another part is saying another thing. Well, in quantum physics, this creates excess potential, right? So it kind of puts things out of balance. And law of attraction, is about balance, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What you want to attract to you. And so we're applying this to ourselves, and we're asking these three parts of us to work together. Definitely.
So this new
Excellent.
trick will help me move out of South Dakota then? Because I really don't want to live here.
So good point, Nicholas. So I want you to start looking for the blessings of living in South Dakota.
I feel like that'll keep me here then.
No,
Okay.
that's the mind.
I've
The
been looking at
mind
houses
thinks,
in Rochester, Minnesota, and then I started looking at houses we might possibly move to Chicago. I don't know yet. We're waiting on my son's mom. My baby mama's brother-in-law is running for Senate, so we'll see if he gets it this time in South Dakota. Otherwise, it might be a whole family move.
yes. So it
know.
doesn't matter where you are right now, where you are, find as many blessings as you can for living in South Dakota. Because all of those things that you don't want in living where you're at keeps you there.
There's so much negativity thing. That's one of my big issues here. And so many negative people where I live. It's
So super conscious, I'd like the super conscious to
being
work
around too much
on.
negativity.
I'd like the super conscious to work on and diffuse what I believe to be negative, and allow the positivity and the wisdom of what I'm labeling negative to come through.
Sorry, someone else's phone ringing.
That's okay. No worries.
She forgot it
It's
on
still
last night.
happening.
And she stole my bed, so,
Very good. Excellent. So your exercise is to find a blessing of where you're living right now, and then your current reality, and then your desired reality.
Here, and that'll attract the blessings there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Blessings attract blessings. Negativity attracts negativity.
I've been in South Dakota for pretty much over 20 years, and it's
everything you don't like where you are, when you move, will come with you.
Oh, really? All right.
Doesn't matter
Find
where you live.
here then. Okay.
Find
Well, when we're
where
opening
you
our
are.
mind up to that playing field, I opened up the whole United States. So
Perfect.
hopefully that'll make things easier.
And bless South Dakota. I would tell
I like
the
by
fuck out of it.
area better because it's more nature and stuff. But it's one big thing I like about Minnesota. It's good balance between city activities and nature. It's like it's all really well connected there. And I noticed that about like when I was up in Chicago as well. It's got a lot of nature spots. Where I'm at, it feels kind of like a dead zone. It's a lot of fields, but it's nothing beautiful. It's like houses and construction. It's just.
So you are judging it as being unbeautiful. So super conscious, work on the judgments that I make on what I decide is beautiful and not beautiful, and find the beauty wherever I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah. Because even though you might think South Dakota is ugly, I know so many people who love South Dakota and think it's absolutely beautiful.
Like West River are nice.
Well, you could say the same thing about Illinois. Illinois is, smelly onion is what Chicago means, right? So there's there's a war zone going on here, but if you go 60 miles northwest, it's absolutely beautiful. So
yeah,
it's here. It's your state of mind.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Now watch things shift.
Okay.
Very cool. And there's a belief there that it's not going to happen fast enough.
No, I've been working on opening the third eye for a while, and it's kind of opened up. I've kind of started seeing things for what the world wants to see them, not the like media wants you to see.
Yeah.
And then like when media is on, I'm seeing like mixed messages within it, and I try to avoid it because I see the crap.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay.
All right.
Be okay with where you're at right now. No resistance with where you're at right now. And you create the resistance by saying, this is a bad place. I don't want to live here. It's ugly. There's nothing here. You create this resistance that pushes away your desired reality.
So by bringing in the beauty, we'll bring in the jobs and bring in the positive people, and then moving will be even harder. I got you.
If you want to believe that, but focus in on what you want to feel.
What was that?
Focus in on what you want to feel.
Okay.
The end result. Focus on the end results. You have the job. Your family is doing well. You have all the things you need. All the things you need are right there. Everything is here. Everything is here right now.
Morgan has something on her mind. She put her hand on her head. I think she has
What?
something to say.
Oh, no, just like you probably couldn't hear it, but my bird was sort of making these little chirps that usually signals he wants me to put my arm up for him to step on, but then he wasn't doing
okay.
it.
Okay. I was trying to read your body language. I guess it meant something different.
Yeah, no, just usually he tries to signal me with these little chirps that he wants to step onto my arm, but then he doesn't always do it, and he changes his mind.
Okay.
Yeah. Got a mind of his own, doesn't he?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, do you guys have any other questions before we hang it up? Because we've gone quite some time.
So, I mean, not really a question, but I was sort of able to figure out like the connection between these seemingly unrelated triggers that, like, sort of before the session started, there were some noise triggers just from outside the house. And I was thinking, well, why does this have to happen right now when, I've got this session to do and I want to focus on that? And then I was thinking, well, I'm like, because, some of my issues are similar to Nicholas's, where, struggling to find work I can do with my chronic health issues and disabilities. And some of the times when I was attempting to work, I was having issues with the job environment distracting me and, making my health decline, like both physical and mental health. So having problems with the environment, and then finding, well, even in my home environment, I don't always have the perfect environment in my own home. And so that sort of comes up there. And it's like, well, how am I supposed to work from home if I can't even get the peace I need there? And so that's the connection I made.
Have you smudged your home? Have you blessed your room? Or where you are the
Yeah,
most?
I mean, I have done energy clearing with my room, and then, sometimes from just from staying in my room, I will try to expand the energy out to the entire house because I mean, I live with a few other people and I don't really want to go around the entire house physically, and they're like, well, what the hell are you doing right now? So I do try to expand the energy and tension to the whole house, and I've even tried to expand it to my entire street, and maybe I need to do that a bit more often, but because sometimes things do feel better after I do that, but I think maybe I need to make that a part of my regular schedule.
Anytime of day, they're all gone?
Sorry, what was that?
Any time of day, they're all gone. You could do the whole house.
Yeah, that's almost never, to be honest.
Very cool. So I want to thank you guys. Next week, we're going to go into it a little bit more. We're going to keep building and keep working on these. And my goal is to make this as clear explanation and as few steps as possible. So as I work with you guys and work through this process, it actually helps me to make it a more clear process. Hopefully that made sense. And then as you guys work on these, I'm working on it too. That's why I love to do this. So anything that somebody else is working on, we're working on the super conscious level. And this is how we're connected between where you are, Rowan, and where you are, Nicholas, and where I am. There's no space or time. So
yeah, and
it's super conscious.
And it definitely did feel like a connection because we're dealing with some similar issues.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So any other questions or anything else you want to work on before we close today?
So just do what you're, just keep looking for the things that you like around where you are, the positive, and that's basically what we need to work on this time.
Get clear on your desired goal, your desired reality. So your current reality is not what you want, right?
No.
The more you can get clear on the desired reality, that means you're making a picture. And don't forget, when you make this picture, you're in it. So you're making a picture of what that looks like. Done.
Like one of my big challenges here is I feel like I don't fit in. I feel like I'm bigger than where I am. Like I go to bigger cities and I feel like I fit in better. I'm in a small city. I feel like I'm too much for this place.
You're more diffused in the bigger city. In a smaller city, everybody looks at you more. You become larger, whereas you
Yeah,
want to be smaller. You don't want to be looked at. Yeah, you want to disappear, go to a big city. You want to
yeah,
become
I do.
somebody, go to a little city, right? Because you're bigger. So even
Yeah,
though there's a discrepancy about what my size is, when it comes to being in a small city, I seem really, really big, and everybody's looking at me, and everybody can see all of my flaws. And even though I feel like when I go to a big city, I disappear. I'm nothing. I'm nobody. So there's a discrepancy. I'd like the subconscious to go through and find all of the barriers, memories, behaviors related to this discrepancy, and begin to level out the playing field, work on these, and bring out the positivity, the wisdom, and the knowledge for this, and integrate this into the playing field. It's okay to want to disappear every once in a while. It's okay. But it also might feel uncomfortable because you're in a small city and everybody knows your stuff.
well, yeah, they know my stuff. It's hard to find work. People talk. It feels like it's a wall against me, and just I want to just jump over the wall and go somewhere I fit in. And it's
So even though I feel like I don't fit in and I have to go someplace in order to fit in, super conscious, work on the programming and do a massive rewrite of this programming, of the belief that I have to go somewhere in order to fit in, and rewrite those and integrate the wisdom and knowledge into the treatment team and into the level playing field, the one personality. Even though I feel like I have to do something, this doing something, I feel like I have to do something, and super conscious, rewrite the programming, having to do something, and allow this person to just be who he is. I'm not allowed to be who I am. I have to do something. I have to be something. I have to integrate. I have to disappear. Allow the wisdom and knowledge of this to integrate into the playing field. I don't know, when that tingle goes up my spine, I know
yeah,
something's happening. Yeah, even though it might not, my brain is like, wait a second, what did you just say? Didn't you just say both things? And I'm just intuitively saying these things.
right. No, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
No, I just have
Yeah.
really good memories from when I lived in Minnesota as a kid before I got taken away and put in the system, where
Mm,
I feel Minnesota is like my happy place.
yeah, and so you were put in a system and made to disappear.
Once I moved to South Dakota, I was permanently in the system. When I lived in Minnesota, I was living with my mom.
So when you move to South Dakota has a super conscious, begin finding all of the memories and behaviors related to being put in the system and lost in the system, called South Dakota. Begin to rewrite, do a massive shift change and recode, reprogramming of these memories that are linked to behaviors and thought patterns. And allow these barriers to be integrated into the treatment team and all of its wisdom and knowledge shared with the treatment team. So it is done. Nice.
Feels lighter. It feels lighter. Thank
It
you.
does feel lighter. Yeah, very good. Awesome. You guys, this has been such a joy and a pleasure. You have helped me so much. You have no idea how much you helped me. And I hope that you've gotten value and benefit from this as well. And
Yeah.
we've got 2 more trainings.
How you?
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm very grateful for this session, and it's so good to see you.
Oh, I get to put a face to the name. Very awesome. Awesome. I'm so excited. And I'm very excited. So the work we've done today, I'm going to be integrating them. And I haven't decided when we're going to meet next week. But if you guys want to let me know when is a good time for you, I try to vary it because we have so many people in different time zones. Awesome. And what I'd love from you guys during the week, if you have any realizations, questions, or anything like that, I'm here for you. Let me know. And this will
Okay,
be good
thank you.
for all of this in this process. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.